Speaker, sir, this is my maiden speech in either house or the Parliament. I became a minister 17 months back. I had dozens of opportunities to speak, but unfortunately I couldn't because of obvious reasons, because the house didn't work. Well, honourable member. Well, Chairman, sir.
He can, sir.
Chairman, sir.
He can speak. Yes.
Chairman, sir. I will start where the honourable member had stopped. He said, I have never seen a government like this. Honourable Chairman, sir, I've never seen a government like this in 40 years of my public life. In 4.5 years, the state of the economy today is better than ever before in the history of independent India. The micro, Chairman, sir, somebody is disturbing.
No, you can.
Chairman, sir,
you can speak this side.
The macroeconomic fundamentals of the government today, of the country today, are better than ever before in the history of India. The inflation level, my close friend Mr. Venugopalan was talking about inflation. There's a price rise. Chairman, sir, last month in December, the year-to-year inflation was only 2.6%, which is the lowest in the history of India. When the UPA was in power, what was the average inflation? 10.1%. Today, the inflation is down to 2.6%. What was the food inflation? The food inflation is averaging. Ando, listen. I know you haven't read these things. Please listen. The food inflation average was about 18.5%. Today, we are down to 2.6%. The greatest achievement. This is where the poor people of this country, they are the greatest gainers from Modi government's role. The fiscal deficit is completely under control. The current account deficit is completely under control. The tax base is increased dramatically. The total amount of money collected as taxes has gone up dramatically. India is the best destination. India is the best destination for FDI. Speaker, sir, the fundamentals of the economy of this country has never been better than today, than ever before. Now,
no, don't interrupt.
This government, as Minister for Tourism, this government has put tourism right up on the pedestal. Now, a lot of people wouldn't have read this. This is a report of the World Travel and Tourism Council 2018. As per this report, page number 2, in power and performance ranking. No, please read. If you don't read these things, if you don't listen to these things, it's not my fault.
Honourable members,
World Travel and Tourism Council. I'm sure the honourable member hasn't heard about this. Doesn't matter. Apologies. India is at number 3 in global ranking. Number 3 in the world. After China and the United States, India is at number 3 in global ranking in tourism. What is the revenue? Speaker, sir, I think this country has a right to be informed. What is the revenue we receive from tourism? Last year, Speaker, sir, the revenue from tourism was $234 billion, which is equivalent to 16.5 lakh crores. Which is equivalent to 16.5 lakh crores.
Sarath, you are a senior member. He can speak. Not to disturb. Please.
Let me come to the rest of the numbers. Honourable Speaker, sir, as per the World Travel and Tourism Council's report, we are employing today. Now, this is again as per the Tourism Satellite Account Report. This is as per the law which is prescribed by the UNWTO, United Nations World Tourism Organization. What does it say? Now, this is your report of 2006, this is the report of 2012, and this is the report of 2018. What does it say? What does it say? Very simple. As per that report, Speaker Sir, today the tourism sector is employing 81.12 million people. 81.2 million people the tourism sector is employing. That is the largest number of people employed anywhere in the world in the tourism sector. Now, honorable member, please listen carefully. From 2014 to 2018, in the tourism sector alone, the government has created 13.92 million jobs, because 13.92 million jobs this government has created. Honorable member, I'll give you the copy. I'll send you the copy if you so desire. Please read this. Now, this is who writes this report, Speaker Sir. This is done by the National Council for Applied Economic Research. This institution is one of the most reputed institutions in the world. And what's the methodology used? The methodology used is prescribed by the United Nations World Tourism Organization, and that report says 13.92 million jobs are created. I will tell you in crores also, honorable member, 1.392 crore jobs have been created only in the tourism sector. After this, yes, and yes, jobs, Mr. Anthony, jobs. Please learn the English dictionary, jobs. Okay? After this, 5.4 million jobs were directly created in the tourism sector, and 6.98 million jobs were created indirectly by the tourism sector. I know, because many of these numbers they will not be able to digest. They cannot digest because they have decided. They read only one newspaper. This is a Statesman. Please read. Job boost from tourism sector, honorable member. I am sure you have not seen this. Statesman, please read. Another newspaper, very famous newspaper, Times of India. Here, India's third rank in this year's World Travel and Tourism Council report. It shows, here the newspaper says, it shows how far we have come. Honorable member, please read this. Speaker sir, I am placing both this before on the table. Please, whoever is interested can read this.
Okay.
Honorable Speaker sir,
Please don't disturb, nothing wrong with that.
Let me also give you the figures.
Yes.
Last year, we crossed the 10 million mark in foreign tourist arrivals, while global tourism arrivals increased by 7%. The global tourism arrivals to India increased by 14%. 200% of whatever is the global average has been achieved by India. While the revenue from foreign tourists went up by 5% globally, the revenue in India, it went up by 19.2%, 5 times more than the global average. Because these are the most impressive. We are the largest growing tourism destination in the world. Medical tourism. When we came to power, you know how many people were coming to India on medical tourism? 1.3 lakh people were coming, and last year 4.95 lakh people came to India on medical tourism, a growth of 255%. Is it not impressive? Sorry, these are not my figures. These are the figures of Bureau of Immigration. And why do people come to India? Why do people come to India? 13.93% of people come to India on business. 59.01% of people come to India on leisure. 3.93% of people come to India on medical tourism. 19.33% of people are Indian diaspora, and 2.95% of people are the others. Why do people come to India? Because the Prime Minister and this government has created a situation, has created a beautiful country where people want to come. We are the first destination in the world today. More people want to come here and look at the numbers of speakers, the way we are growing, and look at the publicity. Past few years, last 1 year, we made 5 promotional movies. Each movie is 60 seconds. During the last 6 months, in the CNN ranking of promotional movies, Tourism Ministry's India's promotional movies were at rank number 1, rank number 2, and rank number 3 every week for the past 6 months. Speaker, sir, these are figures, not my figures. CNN, honorable member, CNN. Okay, all right. We put these things on the social media, and you know how many hits we had, how many people viewed. How many people viewed my promotion on yoga? 60 million people viewed my promotion on yoga. 70 million people viewed my promotion on wildlife. And about 52 million people viewed my promotion on Ayurveda. Because the whole world is watching India. And they say, here is a country which we need to see. India's tourism is not about visiting. It's not even about experiencing. It's transformational. When people come to India, when they leave, they say, we are never the same again. This is a transformational country. People come here to be transformed. Chairman, Sir, Speaker, sir, some of our destinations were ignored. When this government came to power, Modi government decided to put money in tourism. Two flagship projects were started, Swadesh Darshan and Prasad scheme.
Could you speak on
Speaker, sir, 2 schemes. Swadesh Darshan and Prasad scheme. You know, as on today, as on today, 77 projects are going out in this country with an outlay of 6,121 crores. And under the Prasad scheme, Speaker, sir, we have 27 projects at an outlay of 832 crores. We have 7,000 crores worth of projects going on to create infrastructure, Speaker, sir, in the tourism sector. 29 states now we have. After this government came to power, we introduced these things. Did you ever put money in tourism? Thank you, Finance Minister. Thank you, Prime Minister. We have created infrastructure around tourism. And I tell you where we put the money. Here. Okay. We have 15 thematic schemes. We have 10 projects in Northeast worth 856 crores. Under the Buddhist Circuit, we have five projects where we are putting in 361 crores. In the Himalayan Circuit, we have 7 projects where we are putting in 668 crores. Under the Coastal Circuit, we have 11 projects we are putting in 798 crores. In Krishna Circuit, we have 2 projects worth 188 crores. In the Desert Circuit, we have 1 project worth 63 crores. In the Tribal Circuit, we have 4 projects worth 380 crores. In the Eco Circuit, we have 6 projects worth 490 crores. In the Wildlife Circuit, we have 2 projects which is worth 187 crores. Yes. In the Rural Circuit, Speaker, sir, we have 2 projects worth 122 crores. Under the Heritage Circuit, we have 10 projects worth 865 crores. Under the Sridhanga Circuit, we have 1 project worth 52 crores. We are putting, Speaker, sir, 6,121 crores. Did your government do it? Now.
Yes. Thank you.
Now let me come to the Rafale issue.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Please,
let me come to the Rafale issue.
Thank you.
No, listen. The Defense Secretary, Mr. Mohan Kumar.
You please.
But I don't mention the name.
You please conclude.
The Defense Secretary, Mr. Mohan Kumar, is my batchmate from the IAS. He writes something on the file. He writes something on the file. Speaker, sir, it is a job of the political executive to take a call. Sorry, it is not a bureaucracy which will decide. The political executive, the minister and the prime minister will take a call.
Yes,
when this government came to power, Speaker, sir, no, I'll conclude. When this government came to power, we did not have enough bullets to fight battles for 3 days. We did not have enough bullets for 3 days. What did your defense minister do? What did they do? I'm sorry, give me a minute. Very important issue.
Not me, you have to
what
ask
did
him.
they do?
Not me, I don't
Speaker said today, our Prime Minister, he's the one man with the backbone to stand up and take a decision for the country. He said, India must be protected.
Thank you.
India must be protected. India must be defended.
You want to say
They
this,
did
sir?
not even buy.
Thank you. Thank you.